Hello and welcome to another edition of Comics and Pop. I'm one of your hosts, Jonathan Rosen, along with Troy Cannon and Carlos Idarraga. And today we are going to give our thoughts on the She-Hulk trailer. And before I turn it over to you guys, like I always do, I got to say, we talked about it a little bit before. I think Marvel used all their budget on special effects prior to this because this was awful. And all over Twitter, it keeps saying, that she's Fiona from Shrek. That's what it looked like. It looked like a cartoon. So, but I'll go into thoughts. But this was, I'm a big She-Hulk fan. I love She-Hulk. I am very worried about this one. Troy, give me your thoughts.
I have to agree. The special effects, the CGI was bad. And it's so bad, in fact, that I have to assume it's some type of swerve. We're looking at it and they're going to hit us with a Sonic movie exchange where they showed Sonic and he looked terrible. But when the movie was released, it was a completely different CGI. I'm hoping that they're going to do something like that and they're going to Sonic us, because if they don't, I don't know what that's all about. The Hulk looked okay. It was, he was suspend belief, believable. The Abomination, suspend belief, believable. She-Hulk, she looked like she fell out of, a Disney cartoon or
Okay, cartoon.
Bugs Bunny or something. I didn't like it. As far as the CGI, I didn't like it. The potential to introduce new characters and to have 9 episodes, I'm all for that. I'm all for it.
Carlos, initial thoughts, if you want to join us on the video as well. It's your off the video.
I don't know.
Yep.
No. So a couple of things. So I agree with Troy. I saw a couple of things that people have said on the interwebs, basically, and they're saying that it's probably just because they wanted to get something out quick, so people see, but it's probably not the finished product. So they're probably going to do something to fix it because, it kind of didn't look great. So about She-Hulk, yeah, I'm also a big fan of She-Hulk. I mean, I collected the comic when I was a kid. I remember buying the #1, like off the, at the comic shop when it first came out, when I was a little kid. And I'm a big Hulk fan as well. So, the She-Hulk was always pretty cool. I just, a couple of things, I guess we'll go into deeper, but a couple of things. One is hopefully, obviously they're changing it around a bit, like the original She-Hulk, like for instance, the Hulk, right? When we first got the Hulk was, he was a brute, a beast, right? And, he became, they switched it to the smart Hulk and stuff for the Avengers movie, right? But I mean, when we first saw the Hulk, the first few movies that we've seen of the Hulk, it's been, Bruce Banner, and then when he turns into the Hulk, he's a beast. But obviously in this one, they went with automatically went with her being, the sensational She-Hulk instead of the original Savage She-Hulk. Obviously, right? But so I want to see how they do that. I mean, I would have liked to see it more like the Savage She-Hulk side, but I guess since they're making it so that we're seeing the Professor Hulk, right, in it, instead of the monster Hulk. So I want to see how they play it. There's a couple of things that are kind of like a little bit going to be kind of hard to digest, and I'll go into them a little bit deeper. But I mean, I'm really excited about this, man. Really excited about this.
I'm not. I'm hoping it's good. Like I said, I love the show. I love the comic. The She-Hulk comic was always a lot of fun to me. But why release this if this is not ready? I mean, the animation just looked so poor in this. It's like, just really set me back. Like, oh, this is going to be terrible. Maybe that's why too, because they turned on Eternals, they kept saying how awful it was. So it was a little bit better than expected when I saw the movie. So maybe they're doing the same thing here. But this was, this really led me to believe, we saw a lot. There was a lot to take in that little trailer, that little clip, a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of things that we can be expecting. But I don't know. I mean, I'm going to watch it. We of course, we're going to watch it. We're going to talk about it. But I am really leery right now. So what are we getting out of the trailer that we saw that we're looking forward to?
So a couple of things real quick, I guess. Obviously, we're going to see, Smart Hulk. First appearance right there. The Smart Hulk, right? Comics and pop, right? We're going to see, a Ming, not Wing Wong, and we're going to see the Abomination. Second appearance of the Abomination right here. So make believe if this was number 90, it would be the first appearance, but this is 91, second appearance, and he's actually on the cover with the Hulk, right? And a little clip that we were talking about actually before when Troy sent us the still of it. It's going to be, we're going to see the Frogman, which is kind of cool. First appearance of the Frogman right here, Daredevil, right? Actually, they were probably going to see the one that's from the Marvel team up, right? But this is the actual first appearance of the Frogman. If you can see him, he's right there, little Frogman. Daredevil number 10. But yeah, I mean, I like the fact. I like it when the series when they take them and they make it part of the MCU and they include the characters that we all love from the MCU. Obviously, Hulk, Wong, Abomination. You're going to introduce new characters in Frogman and Titania, obviously, who's going to be her nemesis. So that I like, and that's something that I'm really looking forward to. There's one other thing that I'll talk about, but I want to see what else Troy thinks.
You want to see what I think now? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
You think after all these episodes, we'd have our act together.
It's like, and now Troy.
and presenting. So with the Titania, I'm glad they're bringing her. I think that she is either Titania or the Wrecking Crew. Those are going to be, in my opinion, her two main nemesis.
I was thinking Wrecking Crew, yeah.
Wrecking Crew, So with them doing that, that's cool, but they've got to change her origin story. Well, they're changing everybody's origin story in this, because if they're going Frogman / Eugene, they're doing the kid, they're going to skip the father, or they're going to, maybe he's doing it because the father is in jail and wants to break him out or whatever, something like that. But it seems like you're probably going to skip Pop. With Titania, she's not getting her powers via Dr. Doom and Secret Wars, because that hasn't happened yet. So because if we see her, she's a regular chick, and then all of a sudden, she's busting through walls and fighting in the crazy outfit. So, unless this Secret Wars is going to happen during this episode, I don't think so. So they're going to have to come up with a way that she got her powers. And then She-Hulk, they got to change the way she got her powers too, so they're going to do all of these things.
Well, if they're putting him in it, you don't think that they might go along the same lines, maybe?
With her getting shot up and her cousin giving her blood transfusion?
Yeah, I don't know. So I think it's going to have something to do with him.
It should have to do with him.
They showed like a scene of like a car accident or something. Maybe she's in a car accident and maybe that's when he gives her the blood transfusion. Maybe they switched it around.
I was thinking that, but I like I showed you guys the pictures. When I watch them, I watch the video and I'm like, oh, what's going on? And then I go back and I watch it again and I'm like, click 1 frame, click 2 frames. And I go frame by frame when she falls down that hill, because I was thinking that same thing. I was like, they shot her up. She's falling down the hill. This is where we're going to rush her to the hospital. But when she falls, there's like 7 frames of her like outside the car, and she looks at the car and she turns green. So she's already got power. So I'm thinking, when is she going to get her powers, man? And, Bruce clearly knows she's got her powers because he's trying to teach her how to use them. So sometime during the episode, so she doesn't already have them. She's going to get them during the episode because he's taking her to that Stark Institute, which I kind of think might be that thing that they had to hold the Hulk out in the Mojave Desert, that little Ross type deal. I'm thinking it's going to be that, but they're taking her there, and he's training her, so he's got to already know she's got her powers, but she needs to be trained and taught how to not freak out, to go from savage to sensational, as you so eloquently have pointed out. Got to go from savage to sensational, and she's got, in order to do that, he's got to Professor X her, take her into the danger, the danger room, and teach her how to control her powers by throwing sharp blades at her face. That's how we all learn how to do stuff. I can remember learning how to eat peas with my mom throwing knives at my head.
We used to do that in my backyard when we were kids, Troy.
Yeah, So I'm really curious. I think if they're showing us Frogman and they're showing us Titania and everything, I'm thinking maybe Daredevil is hidden and they haven't shown him yet. And I'm thinking they're on two different coasts right now, but with the invention of airplanes, one could easily go to the other coast. So I'm thinking Daredevil and a few other people. If Titania is there, her bow hunk is probably going to show up, which would be crazy cool. I'm curious about who else is going to show up.
Well, you know what? She's a lawyer, right? So obviously,
that's what same thing. I thought.
One of the things, but here's my beef. Okay. I'm gonna break down my beef right now, so you guys
can. Can you put a big graphic up of this Carlos's beef?
Carlos's beef. Boom. Carlos's beef. So here's my beef. So one of the things that with the Hulk, right? Hulk had a little bit of a little love entanglement with Black Widow, right? But he kind of said, "Listen, this can't work." Because I'm the Hulk. I mean, I can't, we can't have relations and stuff, because I'll freaking kill you if I turn into the Hulk, right? But we see some scenes of
what a way to go,
dating. Huh?
What a way to go!
Oh my God, exactly. But
Yeah.
we see some scenes of her dating as the She-Hulk, right? So I mean, if she's the She-Hulk is pretty much just as strong as the Hulk, right?
Yeah, so but it's different.
No, but it's different, but it's not. But if you think about it, because if you're having relations with her, right, and she's, going to orgasm, muscles in her body are gonna hulk, and she could, kill the guy. Imagine you're dating the She-Hulk, and you take her to Sanibel Island one weekend or something, and you're. And you hit the sheets with her and she freaking breaks your manhood off. You know what I mean? Because she can't control that.
Okay, I defy you to find one other podcast that talks about this stuff. I defy you. And he listens.
Exactly. So
I gotta tell you, there was a movie. I gotta cut in for 5 seconds. There was a movie I saw a long time ago, and watching that movie made me, honest to God, think about She-Hulk and Supergirl and Wonder Woman. Did you ever see my super ex-girlfriend?
I've heard of it. Yes. I've seen parts of it. I haven't seen the whole movie.
She's basically got the powers of Supergirl, and she's having adult interactions with Owen Wilson. Was it Owen? Yeah, Owen Wilson. And she's like, "Are you ready?" And he's like, "Yeah." And it's she goes, it's just like a bang, and the bed slides across the wall and hits the wall. And he's like, "Okay, all right, okay." And then it's bang. And the bed hits the wall. And he's like, whew. And it's bang. And then the bed goes through the wall. I'm thinking she's going to kill that dude. So you're right. You're right. She-Hulk would kill a guy.
Of course. Because, when she, nobody could really control their orgasm. You can control up to orgasm, but once you orgasm, it's, that takes over and everything. You lose control over everything. So when she's, if she's orgasming with another man inside of her, it's over for the guy. The guy's done unless he's, a superhero and has,
I'm going to guess that Disney Plus is not going to have this content. But, I'm going to just go ahead.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me. Disney's not the same old Disney that when we were growing up.
Can you imagine being at the pearly gates and you're standing there and they're like, "So how'd you get here?" And the guy's like, "Train wreck." Next guy, "How'd you get here?" "I was a part of a serial killer." Next guy, "Oh, I was in the military." Next guy, Oh, you're not going to believe this story.
I think we're gonna have to corral
I would
this-
love to tell
this
that story.
podcast back into the subject instead of Troy and Carlos's fantasies. But
It's good that they're going there because in the comics, she was a little bit of a hooch. Her and what was it, Tigra? She was a little
this
bit of a hooch
podcast
too.
is off the rails. Go ahead.
So, and both of them
It's so
got
woman friendly, isn't it?
arrows. Both of those chicks, Tigress and She-Hulk, got with arrows. So I'm thinking, Watermelon Sugar High has got to show up in this one or another show. Or, they gotta mention that.
All right, so getting back to the thing.
Your thoughts, Jonathan?
I do think Matt Murdock's going to be in this. I do think we're going to see Daredevil in this. So, as I said, it's exactly the lawyer, tie and the lawyer connection. But I think that they're setting this up for somewhere along the line. We're going to see, little clues for Secret Wars. I think throughout when we're going to get before we're done with this. And everything I was reading, they're talking about we're going to be setting up the West Coast Avengers too.
That would be cool.
That would be very cool.
This is the first setup. We're going to be seeing, more. So some of the things that we saw the clues, they were talking about maybe we're going to start seeing a little bit more of the raft, and we're going to start seeing, by the end of the series, we'll also have like West Coast Avengers. So I don't know. What do you else think that we're going to see in this other than, She-Hulk sexual escapades? So.
There's going to be other stuff. No, for me, it's what Troy was saying, Daredevil, because they've already announced that they're going to do that they're redoing Daredevil, and it's going to be kind of a continuation of the Netflix series. So that's already in the works at Disney. So if he's going to sneak in here, because obviously he's a lawyer, she's a lawyer, to get him back and introduce him again, that'd be great. Because as the Daredevil Netflix series is the best, in my mind, the best.
Right.
The best, superhero TV show ever. So that's really excited about that. And then just to see how they go with the She-Hulk. Is she gonna be, the whole time like Professor Hulk, or is she gonna actually lose it, and be the savage She-Hulk? That would be really cool to see her, wild out and stuff.
She's rarely done that in the comics. So I mean, they had I think one small little run with it, but I don't think she's really done that.
And you know what? Another thing, real quick, when I guess they got to kind of explain what they're planning on doing with the Hulk, because when we last saw the Hulk in the Avengers movies and stuff, he was pretty much Professor Hulk. He wasn't really switching back. He had already they figured it out. He had combined Banner and the Hulk, and he was Professor Hulk. He wasn't really switching back to Banner. But I think in this one we see him as Banner. There's a part when you see him as actual David Banner. So
yes, Bruce Banner. So,
right, exactly, as Bruce Banner. I mean, so I wonder, what are they going to keep him as Professor Hulk? Is he going back now? I definitely want to see what they're going to do with the Hulk.
I think that's a dream sequence, in my opinion, because they're standing there with the New York, the drop of the New York behind them. And they're both standing there because it's supposed to be in California.
Right.
But they got the New York, skyline behind them. And she's like, "Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry." And I'm thinking she's quoting the show. So I'm thinking it's some kind of dream sequence or some kind of throwback type deal or something like that. But he might be Banner in the thing, but I'm thinking he's probably going to be the Hulk most of the time. And also, when he becomes Banner and he talks to the Black Widow, he's Banner and his arm is still messed up. But now we're seeing him as Professor Hulk, and there's nothing wrong with his arm.
Exactly.
So did he heal and then he went back and his arm is bad? So when he becomes human, does he not get the benefit of a healing Incredible Hulk?
Right. That's
that would be terrible. And I think that
Ice and Muscle?
Multiverse of Madness, which didn't have very much multiverse in it. It goes back to that rice, that shrimp fried rice story. But this multiverse of madness, without very much multiverse in it, is going to introduce us to the other multiverses and give us a bigger taste on potential horror, give us a little taste of magic. Thor is going to open up the whole gods thing. Hey man, there's other gods, man. Because if you saw in that one thing where they may be doing, I'm assuming they're doing the Three Mothers storyline as part of it, because they've got Mighty Thor sitting next to Valkyrie, and in front of them is Bast. So there's three queens, and I'm thinking maybe they're doing the Three Mothers, but Bast is there. They're doing the whole thing. In Guardians of the Galaxy, they're opening up the universe. And I think in here, they're going to open up a lot of street level and earthbound heroes and villains. They're going to introduce us to a lot of people that we haven't seen yet. And they're opening up the world. They might even throw a mutant in there, but they're opening up the world and they're saying, hey man, this movie, we're going to show you this stuff. This movie, we're going to show you this. And this movie, we're showing this. They're making the universe, the Marvel universe, bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think it would be a good idea that they do that. And this movie gives them the opportunity to throw tons of heroes and villains and personalities in there. And I'd like to see that.
So we said, you guys said it is 9 episodes. Is that what we said?
Yep, 9 episodes.
That gives a lot.
Which is a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
Oh, they're going to be long episodes. They're going to be like, like hour episodes, or like they've been doing with the other shows. Because that's a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
So who do we want to see? Which hero or villain do we want to see in this?
Daredevil. Let's see, for She-Hulk, I don't know. Well, Titania is obviously the main one for her. I don't know. I mean, I really haven't. I guess Daredevil, for me, Daredevil, obviously, if I haven't mentioned him. Kind of cool that they're bringing Frogman, maybe some other those other obscure,
the most powerful hero and villain in the Marvel universe, Frogman.
Right? If you're gonna break out a mutant, why not go with the Toad? You know what I mean? So yeah, that'd be cool. So like I said, they're already showing a lot of having Abomination and Wong and the Hulk, and so they're already giving us.
Show it all. There's going to be a surprise along the way. There's going to be some.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're doing 9 episodes, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of surprises. So that's why I'm kind of pretty excited about it. And like I said, it's the fact that it automatically ties into the MCU, right? So we don't have to wait and we just had Moon Knight, and there was maybe little tiny bits here or whatever, when they'll throw little things tying into the MCU. This is all pretty much MCU, so that's pretty cool.
So who do you want to see?
I think I would like to see the Wrecking Crew. I'd like to see the Wrecking Crew. And I think since they're doing this and they're opening up the universe a little bit, I guess if they threw some mutants in there, that would be kind of cool. I think almost guaranteed, I think we're going to see Val again. I think she's going to show up because she wasn't in Moon Knight. She probably is uninterested in Moon Knight because he's not as easy to control or manipulate. He's already got enough voices in his head, and he's got a freaking moon god controlling him. So she doesn't want any parts of that. But as many people as I'm assuming that are going to show up in this, Val's going to tap somebody on the shoulder. So I think she's going to show up. And unfortunately, with the loss that Marvel suffered last year, I don't think we're getting the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, well, unless they recast now.
Unless they recast.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get, so I think it's going to be the Dark Avengers. And so with that, we may get a version of Bullseye since she's doing court stuff, or maybe even the captain, or the new captain, U.S. agent, because he still has some stuff that he's got to work out. The government may have just wiped that stuff clean. If they feel like it, they'll wipe your record clean. I need to call them about some traffic tickets I got. See if they'll wipe that clean. But they'll wipe your stuff clean if they want to. Or it could be that they throw it, some of the civil stuff, because he did decapitate a dude on live TV. It's hard to get around that. That's tough to get around. So he may need a lawyer, so she could come up so that they can put him on their superhero supervillain team. So I'm thinking that we might get a little bit of that. But I think with somebody the strength of She-Hulk, especially with the Hulk, we're gonna get some type of villain team in here, because there's not very many people. Even the Abomination, he lost to the Hulk previously. So with two Hulks, he's gonna catch a beating. So I'm thinking they got to put a team together. I think they're going to put a villain team.
I'm guessing that he's not going to be in the whole series. I'm just guessing he's going to be in the first couple. That's okay. So I don't know. So at some point, there's got to be a She-Hulk Abomination fight at some point. If they're teasing this, the whole thing, they're not even teasing, they're showing it. So you can't show that without giving us that fight.
So I wonder why he's in it. Is she going to be like his lawyer or something? Maybe, because she's a lawyer, right? Maybe she's going to represent him because he's, obviously he's in jail, right? So is she going to be his lawyer? Maybe, She's
going to be his lawyer against Bruce Banner. That's against.
He did destroy Brooklyn,
right.
So
right.
That's going to cost a few bucks. They're going to have to do some stuff to get him out of that. So
maybe that's where we will bring in Daredevil. Daredevil's representing New York, whatever, and Idarraga's representing her, and she's representing Abomination.
Yes.
Prosecutor and that would be interesting.
Yeah. Well, that's what I want to say. I think the same as you guys. I mean, I think we're going to see Daredevil. That's the gut feeling that I had there. I definitely want to see the Wrecking Crew. That's what I was hoping for too. I'm thinking, again, we're going back to what we just talked about. I'm thinking we're not leaving this series unless there's like a hint of West Coast Avengers and maybe some little post-credit scene somewhere promising the Secret Wars.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And again, I mean, how is she supposed to reproduce? How is she supposed to have sex with guys and stuff, bro? We need a Sanibel Island episode.
Well, let us know what you guys think in the comments. What you thought of the trailer, what you're looking forward to, what you liked, what you didn't like, and if you have any fantasies that you want to share, like Carlos did also. Again, this has been Comics and Pop. I'm Jonathan Rosen, along with Troy Cannon and Carlos Idarraga, and please subscribe.
Subscribe.